Yo, if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe and, share with your friends and do the thing. Peace. Yo, what's up everybody? My name is James Station. I'm going to teach you how to play Cloak and Dagger because there's literally no tutorials out how to do that in the first place. Especially since it's day 2 of Marvel Rivals being out officially. Let me show you how to play that. So we're starting off as Dagger herself. Her daggers have a ricochet to them. She has a ricochet, and her healing has an AoE effect as well. So everybody that's going to be in this round circle is going to get healed by your daggers. She has about 12 daggers. And the daggers itself has a following effect. So if you miss that, easy heals, baby. And then kind of like a Captain America shield, you can kind of bounce it off stuff, maybe get that healing just in case you can't fully see them, but they do have a following effect as well. Now let's start talking about her abilities. She has 2 abilities just like Cloak. She has a blanket, or basically a veil of light force. Deploy a veil of light force to heal allies upon touch and grant them a healing boost. Basically what this means is, right, she got a blanket. She got a blanket that's gonna help you ×2 healing. Boom. Boom. So when your team's about to die, you can kind of pop that blanket and get that ×2 healing. And for your strategist as well. So if you guys are really close to dying, or you just got hit by like Iron Man Nova or something like that, it's going to give you that extra oomph that you need to really keep your team alive. Speaking of keeping your team alive, she has the second ability called Dagger Storm, which launch a volley of daggers, creating a healing over time field in the impact area. Which means is, let them get a little bit of damage. She gonna drop a gimme dome if you play Apex, and start healing them over time in this bubble. Now, when you're healing them within this bubble, you can kind of focus on whoever, just in case they're not in that bubble, and hit them with that extra AoE. But if you do combo that, you do get a lot of healing off of it, but you kind of want to manage your cooldowns, and only because you also only have 2 abilities, and each one of them lasts between either the Dagger Storm, which lasts between or is 14 seconds, and her blanket, which is 12 seconds. But her Dagger Storm is very good. I like dropping it on my dive characters like Wolverine and Iron Fist. I have no idea if I'm recording right now. I'm scared. I am. Okay, so I like dropping them on my dive characters like Wolverine and Iron Fist. So when they're kind of like afar, like they're kind of beating ass over there, I'm gonna throw them that orb so they can stay alive and I can focus on path. This is literally just a Juno ult, but it doesn't consistently move. It does have an AoE effect that lingers after you pop it. So you're kind of going like this, turn it, making a big fat triangle, and then your team's getting killed from that. But since it has that lingering effect, it is doing a lot of damage as well. Now, to reiterate, as I was saying before I started talking about the ults, is you want to play Cloak and Dagger. You want to play Cloak and Dagger like a good Moira. Focusing healing, you can do healing and do damage as well. Sadly for Moira players, they only know about the damage button. But you can do healing and damage as well. When I'm walking out as a team before the game officially starts, I walk out as Cloak first. And the reason why I do that is so when we can get that first initial damage. When everybody's walking in a straight line, basically from point, especially if it's a push map, I'm gonna hit them with a big ass blanket, letting my team get that extra damage in first, so their strategists have to focus on only healing. Especially if they are a Cloak and Dagger, they're going to force you to heal or stay on Dagger only, because her damage only does like 5, or at least that's what it feels like. So I like playing Cloak first, getting that first initial damage in, having them do that, so that way I can heal my team. And then if I really need to, I'll cloak them so my strategist can heal them as well. And then I might drop a bubble on them. Don't live, and I can focus on my actual team that's a little bit closer to me, period. But that's literally playing Dagger. She's very simple, and she can do a lot of healing, hitting them with that blanket, getting that extra healing boost for your other strategists, and then healing them with that orb or the skibby bubble, and getting that healing over time so you can focus on healing someone else who is not in that effective area. Now let's start talking about her counterpart, her yin, Cloak. Her Cloak does the opposite. Dagger does the healing, Cloak does the damage. Now Cloak has a blanket as well. It is called Terror Cape. Deploy a veil of dark force to damage enemies upon touch, applying blind to narrow their sight and vulnerability to amplify damage received. Just like how Dagger has that ×2 healing, Cloak is going to have that ×2 damage. So once they get hit with that blanket, you see that little UI overlight, they're going to get hit with ×2 damage. Let me get my blanket real quick again so I can show you. 1, 2. All right, they're going to get hit. UI ×2's damage. And for his effect, it seems like every time I see like a Cloak and Dagger player, if I'm not playing them, they're kind of confused on how far they can be. You can be 19 meters or up to 20 meters to start actually doing your damage, but 19 is like that sweet spot. So you can do it from high ground, pause, and you can get those kills from far. So again, Dagger's got that ×2 healing, Cloak has that ×2 damage. Now let's talk about his his domain expansion, if you will. It is a dark teleportation. Enshroud nearby allies in the dark force dimension and grant them phased, making them untargetable and invisible to enemies and granting them a movement boost. So this is meaning that when your team is about to die and it's really close, you can cloak them and your other strategists can do that extra healing to boost them back up. This does help with ults as well. So if you hear a Scarlet Witch or a Doctor Strange, Magneto, Iron Man about to pop that ult, you can pop your blanket and literally cloak them in invisibility or invulnerability so they can eat that ult. You do have to time it fairly well because the cloak doesn't last that long, but just in case you kind of miss it, you can cancel it as well. Now when I first started playing out, and what I still kind of see Cloak players do is they blanket the enemy team and they think that they just did something, but they actually they actually missed that jump. So reiterating just a little bit, Cloak or Dagger does the healing, ×2 healing with the bubble. Cloak doing that ×2 healing and hiding, or ×2 damage and hiding your teammates, and you can swap back and forth very effortlessly on whatever you need. Now the only thing, the best way I can explain playing Cloak and Dagger, actually first before I get into that, they do have their final ult, or their ult period, which is called Eternal Bond. Perform 3 rapid dashes, healing allies and damaging. About the cloak, however, is when you cloak, it does cancel if you swap. So if you cloak and then you try to swap so you can heal, you just wasted your entire cloak, and now you have to wait 8 seconds for that cooldown. So making sure that you let anything that you do, at least on Cloak's side, to fully finish, so you can get that actual effect from Cloak and Dagger. But playing Cloak and Dagger, you're just being a really good warrior player. You can hit them from 20 up to 20 meters, and then you can focus that healing as well. And that's it. I'll try to show some clips of me playing this, or me playing Cloak and Dagger, but since I've been playing Cloak and Dagger, I have gotten about 5 MVPs, and I've only got around 10 games in as well. They do have a team up ability with Moon Knight, and with Moon Knight, bro just becomes invisible. That's it. That's his triangle. He can become invisible whenever he wants to, and then he can get that extra damage in and do what a DPS should. But yeah, that's it. If you guys like the video, make sure to give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I'm gonna start learning some other more strategists so I can give you guys those tutorials as well. I think my next one is going to be Loki, because just like pretty much any strategist, it is just mainly positioning. Since you do get that up to those 20 meters, playing Cloak on high ground is absolutely OP. Just kind of like having a Iron Man, which is literally just Pharah in this game, and it's the most annoying thing in as well. They do have a team up ability with Moon Knight, and with Moon Knight, bro just becomes invisible. That's it. That's his triangle. He can become invisible whenever he wants to, and then he can get that extra damage in and do what a DPS should. But yeah, that's it. If you guys like the video, make sure to give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I'm gonna start learning some other more strategists so I can give you guys those tutorials as well. I think my next one is going to be Loki, because just like pretty much any strategist, it is just mainly positioning. Since you do get that up to those 20 meters, playing Cloak on high ground is absolutely OP. Just kind of like having a Iron Man, which is literally just Pharah in this game, and it's the most annoying thing I have ever encountered already on day 2 of playing this great game. It's just positioning. That's how you want to play Cloak and Dagger, playing it like an actual good warrior player, focusing your healing and getting those orbs and cooldowns, and then getting that extra ×2 damage so your dive characters and DPSs can do what they do, so you can keep everybody alive. So actually, I can show you guys the team up in the practice range, which I didn't know that was an actual thing. So I'm gonna do that. Do this, and then now bro's invisible. Moon Knight's team up.